Hey family, Aaron here to tell you about our latest sponsor, Studio Sweden headphones. Do you like headphones that are comfortable, stylish, and Bluetooth? Well, Studio Sweden headphones are all three. Studio Sweden headphones has decided to sponsor the Black Astronauts podcast and is giving something to our listeners. If you type in BAPPOD at checkout, you will get 15% off and worldwide shipping. So go to studioswedenheadphones.com and use the code BAPPOD. Now on to the show.
Welcome to Black Astronauts podcast Rune reviews, and this is Westworld season 2 episode 5.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't noticed, that is not AJ with a throat issue.
I don't know what you mean, Fiq. However, do you mean
Mr. Aaron B is back?
Back, damn it! It's been a fucking rough couple of weeks. I'm back. Fuck.
Yes, indeed. He was getting a little insecure, hearing the amazing chemistry between me and AJ, which you can find every 2 weeks on Married to Shake podcast.
I am not a fan of these females taking up. I better stop before the fucking ghost of my wife come down the steps and whoop my ass. My wife's not dead. My wife's not dead, guys. She's alive. Just throwing that out there.
So this is the Room Reviews Westworld review. We bring it to you the day after the show comes out every week for the next 6 weeks now. We got 4 episodes in the whole. We are picking up where we left off from last year after we got specially selected.
Oh, here we go. We're not look. It happened. It's over. The shit ain't
okay. I just it's a highlight of one of my highlights of my life. Yeah. So I like to kind of pull that shit up. Yeah. But long story short, we was here first. We been on this shit. Yeah. We OGs in this piece. Which is why this season has been such a fucking treat.
It's a side note. Before we get started, when I because me and Fiq have our own like separate chat for Facebook because some shit that we gotta take care of, and I put in the chat was like, look, dog, it's like they sat little Aaron and little Fiq down and said, hey guys, in 20 years, do you know you'll probably get everything you want out of a TV show?
Right. It's obscene the amount of well-crafted, effective fan service. We'll get there in a second. Let me first take a moment to give a shout out to our Patreon patrons.
Thank you.
The Black Astronauts podcast is brought to you by our supporters who have been with us for the last 6 years or so. Mm-hmm. And the show has been able to thrive and grow thanks to the support of our Patreon patrons. So we like to give them a shout out on every show. So real quick, shout out to the longest name ever, for Wash folks who take naps before the club and never show up. That's one name. Shadrack C, Blackashawn, Nutella is Life, Sadida H, excuse me, Justin C from our Do It for Hip Hop podcast, Just DeAndre, Veggie Vixen, Ron B, V Williams, Feeks Beard, Peter H, Pasto Chene, The Legendary Shogun, Felt 5, Deloya, Shlonda, Wanga, Cameron B, Mr. Brent, Simo, Ashley G, Chonilla, Knowledge, Dre, The Disrespectful One, MJ, Donald, Ophelia Ono, Teddy Funk, Charlie Snowflake, Angela D, My Fluffy Puffs, DJ Food and Dreek, For Wash Folks, Ariana, Nikki M, Devo G, Tasha Salad.
Wait. That's a new one. I didn't put that in there. Who put that in there?
That's a new one.
Wait, wait a minute. I know who that is.
I know who that is. Shauna E, Jordan H, Scrum Master Flash, and of course 11 ? The honorary emperor of the Patreons.
I forgot that was in there.
Yeah.
I forgot to take it out. Excuse me.
No, it's not. It's not in there. I just read it because it left an indelible mark on me when I first saw it. Speaking of indelible marks, I guess Aaron, why don't you go ahead and introduce the details of the show?
Well, first let's talk about Patreon a little bit more and talk about the levels.
You should probably do that because I don't remember.
Oh, of course you do.
The levels. Okay. Aaron, why don't you talk about the levels?
I hate you so much, so much. So with our Patreon patrons, we have 3 different levels. Now these levels go to support the Black Astronauts. So first level is the $3 level. That'll get you your name read on the show, on the main BAP. There is another level. That level is I haven't done this in a minute. The $5 level, which is Shut Up, the Anti-Zebra Fund. Receive shout-outs across all network shows, access to our monthly fireside chats, and an archive of all the Black Astronauts Podcast Network. Now, the $3, you do get the archive as well, of all the old BAP shows. With the $5 level, you'll be included in our quarterly raffle, which, believe it or not, the next quarterly raffle is next month. I didn't realize it had been that fast.
Yeah.
Right, $75 Amazon gift card up for grabs. Then the $10 level is every month. You will get a patron-only live stream just for us. You can come hang out, listen, a little music talk, and, we get to know you all. All previous rewards will be included as well. Now, y'all got to be on the lookout, patrons, because I usually put the link to the live show in the Patreon link. So you may get an email or you may have to check the page. The reason I do it that way is so that I don't put it on the main BAP page and have people come in that, didn't kind of pay for it. So this, it's all for y'all. We will be doing a fireside on Thursday. Fireside is up this month. So did this month just go super fast for you, or is it just me?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I just need money.
Boy, listen. So thank you all so much for being a patron. Also check out our store, tpublic.com/Black Astronauts. And you can pick you up some merch, man. Get a coffee mug. I saw somebody got a laptop case cover. I thought that was dope.
That's dope.
Yeah. So, we appreciate y'all support so much. So, with that being said, let's get into this episode. Akane no Mai. Episode 5, season 2.
Right.
So
our final well, I guess go ahead, go through the IMDb details.
Yeah, so because these IMDb shits ain't never right. They super vague. Maeve and her allies have revelations in a new world. Dolores makes a decision about Teddy. Carl discovers something sinister about the host. Carl. Who
the hell is Carl?
Who's Carl? Wait, I gotta look this up.
Is that the British dude?
Is that the evil guy?
No, not the evil guy. The British dude that was with Maeve.
No, yeah, that's what I thought. It's Gustav Skarsgård, not Alexander. That's his brother. It's one of Skarsgård. Yeah, so it's the main antagonist, the military guy, Carl Strand.
What did he find out? I remember him being in there, but I don't remember exactly. Well, no, that 35% of the hosts were
they got wiped.
Wiped somehow.
Oh, it's not somehow. I think we probably kind of know how they got wiped.
Do we? We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
But yeah. So a hell of an episode.
Let's start out with fan service, son. Let's start with fan service.
Yeah, you leading this. I got so much going on in my head.
I've said at the beginning of every other episode podcast, and until they stop being this way in such a great way, I'm gonna keep saying it. This show does fan service better than any show I've ever seen, because it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like it's there for the sake of making fans happy like other shows do. I've been shading on Game of Thrones for a while, but you can also throw in all the Arrowverse shows.
You don't watch those shows, so you can't say that.
I watched them up until about season 3 for all of them, and after a while, you only have to watch 1.5 seasons to recognize that they love the fan service, and it's not awful. The shows are pretty good. I just don't, they're not high priority watches anymore.
Right.
But yeah, so all of them, but this episode, like when the ninjas popped up,
it was like, okay,
it was kind of, I was like, I did want ninjas. Yeah. You're right.
This is what we're doing, huh? All right. I guess we're going here.
Yeah. When Cream started playing, like, you know what? I did want to hear Cream played by a Japanese violin or whatever the name of it is.
I believe it's a I'm not.
I doubt it's Mandarin because I'm pretty sure that's
no,
Chinese.
It's like a. I know the name of it, and I'm gonna look it up because it's really fucking bothering me. We had to play it in band a while back. Well, a while back. Like what? Like a couple of months ago, nigga. You back in South Florida? Yeah, man. You know I go to South High, bro. You know I had to get back in. No, but but
yes, I did want to see her cut a dude's a head off from his mouth.
Yo, and the actors they got, and we'll get to this in an email that we got. Apparently, those actors are like the shit in their native countries. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're. I'm assuming they're both, or all the actors are Japanese, but I can't guarantee.
Yeah, I would hope they would bother. It's not that hard to find Japanese actors. I know the dude that was Musashi. I know I've seen him in some shit before.
Well, I mean, they let's get into it, Fiq. They made a Kurosawa film. They said, you know what? Let's just.
They did. Wow.
They made a Kurosawa film.
They just said. Because I thought to myself. So the one weakness I'll give to the episode is that it felt very vestigial. It didn't really.
Explain that for the non-smart niggas. I mean,
it was an episode. Like if this episode didn't happen, as I see it now, we wouldn't have lost anything in the show.
Yep.
Plot wise.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like you could probably skip from episode 4 to episode 6 and not miss anything plot wise, except for Maeve's newfound power, which we're. I'm waiting to hear more on that. I love how she just got. I know I shitted on Dragon Ball Z, but I love how she went Ultra Instinct on niggas.
You definitely did this shit on Dragon Ball Z and then come back with a Dragon Ball Z reference. That's why I don't take you serious. That's why I don't fucking take you serious right now.
I'm trying to use salient concepts to make sure I connect with the audience, man.
Oh, and you know what?
Dragon Ball Z is still.
This is the halfway point, baby. This is why this episode. All these revelations came into play. This halfway point. Can you believe we only got 5 more episodes?
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna wrap everything up. But I guess they don't have that many loose threads.
Nope.
We got to figure out exactly. So it's clear that there's something with cloning going on. We got to figure out exactly what that is. Figure out what the hell was going on while all the hosts were in the lake. And I guess the totality of Ford's plan. And William's fate. So it's 4 main threads.
Well, we still haven't went back to the real world as well.
Well, I don't know if that's a narrative thread. Like we might go there or not, but the narratives could be.
But I take that as a timeline. Like those 4 that you mentioned are all separate timelines. So I'm taking that narrative as the 5th one, and when they go to the real world. Right.
I mean that's quite possible. That's quite possible.
Also, but, I'm gonna throw my crazy theory out there now. Fiq gonna shoot me down.
Okay.
The main hosts, like the main cast characters that are hosts, I'm almost 100% sure they were people before this shit happened.
Yeah, see, I don't see that as fast. Nothing in the show lends itself to
that. But they're already mentioning that they're cataloging hosts or cataloging guests. Would they? I mean, they had to catalog something to begin with when they first.
But started. that would undermine so much from last episode with James Delos. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
like that they could get all these other hosts to work based off old people,
but we don't.
But they couldn't get him to work.
We don't know when that happened. Like, did the other people know that they were going to be turned into? Like, Delos knows he's going to be turned into a host. That's his decision. So. That's because I thought about that too. Maybe there's some type of distortion where if you know that's going to happen, you aren't going to register it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ways
possible.
Around that.
I just don't see.
Just don't shoot me down 100%. Shoot me down like 7.
I'm gonna shoot you down like you have the percentage. You have Shaq's free throw percentage.
Oh, hey.
I give you that.
Hey, I need something a little more reasonable.
For those of us listening under 25, Shaquille O'Neal was a basketball player. In the 90s and early 2000s.
Probably the greatest center we've ever seen in our generation.
Right. Definitely the greatest center of our generation. The last great center,
big man
in the league, because the big man don't exist no more,
right?
Like he was. But we're getting off topic, and we're getting old as fuck. Because 10 years ago, Shaquille O'Neal reference needed no introduction.
Now it's like, oh, you mean the dude that be on TNT?
Right. That's crazy.
We old.
But anyway, you hold on for a second.
So yeah, about my theory, I'm really 100% sure, guys, that this is like not 100%, like 75% sure that is more to these hosts.
You should be closer to 2025. Look, son. 2025.
Dolores keeps referring to Abernathy as her father, regardless.
But that's her programming.
Is it though? Like because she's free.
Yeah, and that's what makes. So I think what you're undermining the philosophical undertones for the fantastical opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So like the point of her referring to him as her father is to kind of keep this play between what's real and what's not real, and what really makes you human and what doesn't make you human in play. Like that is one of the key things. This show is getting us ready for Elon Musk's final plan. Whenever we get replaced by robots.
Did you see what I put in the chat about the consciousness? No. There is robot consciousness, not robot, but there is the first consciousness from I believe it was a bee, was transplanted into another host.
What? Yeah. In real life?
In real life. I'll try and find it for you. It's in the BAP group.
Oh no, I did see that. I thought it was a slug.
Well, yeah, it might have been, but
yeah, I did see that. Damn, I didn't even think about how that related to this shit.
Dog, we only 2 trips away from a slug. Like, if you want to tell the truth.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but anyway, so this episode starts off with Maeve. We get a mild explanation as to why her shit didn't work. Her special trick didn't work earlier with the Native Americans.
It makes sense.
And it makes sense because they didn't understand what she was saying. So, that is what it is. And she's not a normal human. So they didn't start speaking in English, which is what they do in any other situation.
And then it also makes sense on why, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it also makes sense on why when the, I can't remember his name, the human.
Go ahead.
The human involved. I can't. God, why am I? The one.
I feel like that got to be Carl.
No, that's not Carl. I'm looking right now.
I don't know who the fuck Carl is.
Lee Sizemore.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He is speaking to them, and remember he said, they should have started speaking English immediately as soon as I started talking, and then we find out why. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, right. Why? Like, so which ones have consciousness and which ones don't? Because the first people he met didn't have their ears chopped off. So they should have started speaking English immediately.
Right. Well, no, but also the whole system's off though.
Right. Well,
so yeah. a lot of them are doing their own thing.
Okay.
So it's a multitude of reasons, but either way, it worked.
Yes.
So it wasn't hand wavery, and clearly it's going somewhere. Now, if I want to hear a theory, Aaron, what is your theory on her new telepathic ability to do that? Is that because here's the thing that hit me. At first, I was like, how'd she do that? But then I was like, you know what? Ford never had to say anything to get motherfuckers to chill the fuck out.
Exactly.
Ford picked up a finger and pointed it to the left and then to the right.
and sometimes didn't even like wave his hand or anything. It's just
right.
Walked away.
That was just for the fun. That was right. That was to let other motherfuckers know how he got.
And then they made a point to mention in this episode as well that the Wi-Fi everybody connected thing comes up multiple times in this episode.
Yeah.
And I think that she might have figured out a way that she's connected to them. Maybe through Wi-Fi.
So hold on, but wouldn't that? Oh shit! Wouldn't that indicate that Ford might have been a host?
Yeah.
Damn. Now that's a theory that I fucks with. That's more like John Stockton shooting a free throw percentage, son.
And
John Stockton was a point guard in the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Short white man. I don't know if John Stockton was actually shorter than I. Don't write me on that.
Yeah, I think he was like 6'1".
Yeah, I don't
He was normal size back in that time of that era. Short. He was the last person to put on short shorts.
Oh yeah, he was rocking them short shorts.
He was like not giving up on the baggy joints.
96. He was like, still got him.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, that was a tangent.
So we get the dope reveal. So this episode just had so many dope moments of fan service. So I immediately picked up when I heard Painted Black.
Yes.
That they were doing the same heist. And I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. And then of course, I'm not mad at them because it was clear. So I was watching it with AJ and Polo and Polo's wife. I think that was it. And so I was like, oh, I see what they're doing. And nobody else caught it. And it wasn't until they said, this is us, that everybody else got what I noticed. Exactly. So I guess I'm not mad at them for laying it on thick. But that was just that's just great fan service.
You know when it hit me? It was probably about 20, like I didn't hear it like when I listened to it again, I heard the Painted Black. But it was right before he got off the horse and
killed dude in the street.
Exactly. I was like,
yeah.
Wait a damn minute.
Yeah.
and then when she handed him the bow instead of the gun, I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. Okay.
Right.
You guys, I get you. I see what we're doing here.
But did you peep? So it was a deep moment that was real subtle. So for all the heavy-handed fan service, there was a really subtle, deep moment when Maeve tried to basically wake the other version of her up, and she kind of rejected it because she wasn't really there yet.
Yep.
And I thought that was dope because that's some old allegory of the cave shit. You know what I'm saying? And that was just for all the like bombast and pomp and ridiculousness of this episode.
It was the subtle.
They snuck a couple of little moments that in.
Oh, I mean, jumping directly to the end. And by the way, guys, Aaron's back. We're not going to be in order, and this is probably going to be a long one. So jumping to the end, when Maeve and I'm sorry, guys, I'm trying to pull up names. Was it Akane? Yeah, Akane.
Yeah.
She was basically already awake at that point. Like Maeve was sitting there reciting her lines, but not because like she was reciting those lines. It was because I think Maeve thought she was awake already. You know what I'm saying? So she was just saying, "This is exactly what happened to me."
Or moreover, Maeve identified. Maeve has, another really not as subtle but powerful moment is Maeve explaining to Sizemore why it was important to her to save these people. And it really is kind of profound because it's profound in its effect on, at least for me as a viewer, because I still see them as robots and I still side with Sizemore sometimes and be like, look, if you don't leave these fucking sex robots.
Well, but that's because that's who you are at this point. Like, I would expect this in real life.
No. I'm not. I'm a really good person.
No. I'm not saying you're a dirtbag. I'm saying like as far as you identifying, you would not be the first person to give the new Terminator robots agency. Like you're not going to admit it. You know what I'm saying? It's a toaster to you.
Yeah. And that's what's profound because the show has given me every reason to reject that and to recognize Maeve's humanity, Bernard's humanity, especially as he starts his heel turn in this motherfucker.
We don't know what the fuck Bernard is on.
Right.
Goodness.
So like this Sakura story in this shit was fucking tragic. So all these things are there and in play. Yet I still can't get over the fact that they're not human, and that in and of itself is the art of the story working upon me.
Right.
If that makes sense, and that's really excellent because I have to reflect on that now. Is my biological, what I'm saying, how much more is my biological imperative to take preeminence over a creation of man?
Okay.
Is that, did I say that? Did I get too SAT on that?
No,
Would
no,
Lloydia tell me to stop, chill the fuck out?
No, I understand. I understand it, but also you forget who you're talking to here.
And it's Rune though. So,
Yeah.
so say that, I say all that to say, why is the fact that I was created by random? So let's just for a second take God out the equation. We tend to be non-religious, just as to not open up the bag of worms.
Right.
So let's take God out the equation for a second, and let's just go by the scientific explanation of life, which is billions upon billions of random occurrences in biology that have led us to the point where we are now, right? So that's why I feel I have the right to have dominion over machines, even if those machines are sentient. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you recognize that those millions upon millions of random happenings that led to me also in this world of the story led to them creating new life.
Exactly.
So you have to ask, does that give them the right to destroy it? You know, and I don't fucking know. But my instinct says yes. But to be honest with you,
my thing is this: like, if you do bring religion into it, you know, it's littered all over this episode. You know what I'm saying?
Is it? I missed a lot of it.
I mean, if you just take, and if you want to just be super basic, as Dolores as the devil, and Maeve as God, or as some form of protagonist,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Jesus,
like,
in a way.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because she can change the masses. She could have woke Dolores up. I mean, could have woke old girl up, Akane, but
and chose not to.
And chose not to.
You are not ready, my son.
Meanwhile, Dolores is forcing it on you,
right?
And changing you, not giving you any free will.
Was that you that posted in the chat what she did to Teddy?
Yeah. Well, no,
that was fucked up.
No, yeah, it was me. Yeah. When she turned his aggression and rage all the way up, and
like so Teddy. So at the towards, was that the very end of the episode? I feel like it may have been.
It was the very end. Guess remember he said, "Are you sure you want to do this? There's no coming back from this. Like you might not be able to make it."
Right. And I think that's why Bernard has been staring at Teddy, like every time Bernard is like looking at the motherfuckers in this that came out of the boat or whatever, the raft, the lake. Fuck, one of the words I'm using. He always stares. The camera makes a point to show that Bernard is staring at Teddy, which actually these tanks, bro. Actually, it just hit me. What if that's all a setup? What if all them hosts that they're piling inside of the hive get the fuck up?
My nigga. Thank you very much. That is what I was just about to say.
Ew, shit.
I was literally, it was on the tip of my tongue. And I'll take it a step further. And if you want to just get more high-minded, Dolores has been speaking of this the blue tongue, and how the flies, unless you cage them together, if you let them go, it will continue to spread.
Right.
I mean, Bernard don't look too happy in that next episode. He looked a lot like he got a lot of rage and aggression inside of him.
And this whole time he's been looking like he got something to hide.
Exactly.
You know, which obviously he does, but maybe what he has to hide is not what we think. You know what I'm saying? Like, we think he's just trying to hide that he's a host and he don't want to get, catch a bullet to the head. But he might be just like this. I know this nigga Teddy gonna get up and wreck shop in a second. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm in the right spot. Because I feel like that's what's gonna. I feel like Teddy's not legit dead. Like, I don't think they got rid of him just like that. They've
shown him too many times being dead.
Exactly.
And also, how many times did he die in the first season?
A bunch of times.
First couple episodes, he died like every episode, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it's been 5 episodes. I've seen him dead at least twice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So there's definitely some wild shit about to happen there. It's hard to say. But yeah, but we didn't indicate. Oh, no, we did talk about how she changed his programming to make him go from like this, like, not anti-hero, but this like tortured soul.
Exactly.
Yeah. To a cold-blooded killer. It's almost not even gonna make sense. Although James Marsden's a pretty good actor. He's played different types of characters before.
He surprised me a lot this season.
What'd you
Even
say?
more. I said he surprised me a lot this season, even more than last season. You know.
Yeah, this is probably one of the better acting jobs he's had. He usually plays the same. He usually plays affable, good-looking white guy. He's like a poor man's Tom Cruise. But he's been a little dark before, and in this one, he's really, really like he's very convincing as this tortured soul. He's still getting over, having his like presence stay in that old Western charm. He still has that, but you can see it in his eyes as he looks at things and looks at the world that he's like, fuck is going on? What am I doing? Who am I? All the questions that, he should be asking himself. So kudos to him. So let's talk about the ninjas for a second.
we got some motherfuckers.
Like, were you
ninjas.
ready when the ninjas came?
I was all in by that point because I knew they weren't gonna get up out of there in one piece. I was like, okay. As soon as she said, she said something like, let's find a place for the night, or no, he said everybody get a good night rest. I was like, y'all niggas ain't about to be resting.
Right.
It's about to be terrible.
And then fucking ninjas. Like, when's the last time? Like, so again, for those under 25, y'all got to understand.
Like,
ninjas don't mean today what they meant in the late 80s to the late 90s.
Nigga, if you saw a ninja on the screen in like the 80s, shit picked up.
Yes. Everything had ninjas. There were Ninja Turtles. There were surf ninjas. There were motorbike ninjas. There were fucking ninjas. There was American Ninja. Like, everything had ninjas, and it was always cool. There were 3 ninjas.
Yes, it was 3 ninjas.
You know what I'm saying? And ninjas just made everything. Ninjas, the best way I could put it is ninjas was like vampires during like the mid 2000s, mid to late 2000s, and like zombies the last 5 or 6 years.
Like, you just sprinkle a little
That's
ninja
how,
on. You want to make your show better? Just sprinkle a little ninja. Like, just a little bit.
Yeah, put some ninjas in it. Like I hope, I pray to the nerd gods
if they put a
ninja resurgence.
Hey, yo, if they put a smoke bomb in this next episode, bruh, I'm done. I'm done, man.
I hope so.
Like, it was that campy. It made me think back to like the 5 Deadly Dragons.
Shaw Brothers movies.
Yeah, bro. Like
5 Deadly Venoms.
Goodness. Well, no, there was a 5 Deadly Dragons as well.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure. Let me double check.
They didn't have no shame.
Yeah.
It might have been the same movie, just named something different with like one piece of film missing.
That's true as well. It might be.
But so that's how I say, like, the fan service here is off the charts, because I at 35, about to be 36 in a couple of weeks, I forgot how much I love ninjas.
Yeah.
Because I ain't seen them niggas in so long. You know what I'm saying? And when they came through, I was like, yo, my ninjas, what's good? What y'all doing? Y'all about to take some L's with.
How long you workshopped that joke? You was waiting.
Yo, that just came to me. It just came to me.
Get out of here. Oh, shit. But yeah, you're absolutely fucking right. And like I said earlier, it wasn't just like the fact that they had ninjas. It was the way that they shot it as well.
Yeah.
That they if you watch how they made the like, they have a little post show where they show how you made it. Bruh, they actually silk covered the entire set so they could have that have that grayish, like, darker, like, you know how you see in normal Japanese movies. Yeah. Like, yeah, just like a feel to it, and like when the dust flies up off the ground, it looks different, and it's wild to see, bruh. That they spent probably more on this episode than most shows spend on their entire season. Yeah, and
it shows, because even the battles here were way better choreographed than the battle a little while ago with Dolores. I feel like, was that the episode before this one?
Yeah, it was the last episode before this one.
It was last episode. Like, I remember thinking that battle was quite underwhelming. But this one, even though it didn't have large scale battles, just that fight scene with the ninjas was super solid. You know what I'm saying? It was well choreographed. It didn't feel Like people were waiting on for their cue.
I also like that the Westworld cats like stayed Westworld cats. Like they didn't start like doing backflips and like they stayed into a normal American fighting pose. We're gonna get these hands. It was like cool. I could see these styles fighting, which probably made it even more difficult to choreograph. Honestly,
yeah. It was good shit, but it's because they put the effort into it. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They knew they had to continue like good action scenes in a dramatic show. Continue to tell the story.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Now like, I don't. It's just like, do we want?
It's just like anime, nigga. That's what you're about to say, wasn't it?
Well, I was also gonna say wrestling, but
just like wrestling. Yes,
but I didn't want to reveal how nerdy I really am.
Well, you know, as soon as I get off this, I'm going to watch wrestling.
Yeah,
so
Raw is actually on right now.
I'm gonna check. Yeah, I know. Trust me. Man, I lost train of thought.
Heel Nakamura.
Oh, I also want to talk about how this is an anime. This is a fucking anime. And this is the best. I put on Facebook earlier today. This is the best live action anime adaptation ever.
And Full Metal Alchemist should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah. Yeah,
because they did more in one episode than they did in an entire movie.
Right, a movie that had another extra 30 minutes. But yeah, so like the themes, it's not just the themes. It's hard to really place it, right? We both agree that this is an anime,
but it's not necessarily what you like. It's not necessarily what I like. It's just like it's good. Look, you know what it is? It's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
No,
listen, hear me out, because it had a lot of the story elements that you like. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon didn't really have a ton of action. Right,
and the action was
it was shot in a way.
Some of it was really, really good, and some of it was more like art.
Exactly, especially that last sequence when they're just jumping in the trees. But that's how this was shot. You know what I'm saying? It was shot to tell the story, push it forward, move. It was like the soldiers were the driving, like the Shogun was the driving force throughout, just so that the other characters could get to where they needed to go, you know?
Right. So I get you on that. To me, I'm still stuck on Psychopaths, Monster, and a bunch of other ones.
You know what it reminds me of? Not necessarily the same, but kind of the same setup. Cryad.
I'm not familiar with Cryad. Is that the one with the arm?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember that one.
Cryad is actually amazing. Y'all should go watch Cryad.
I'll work back around to it. You know, I'll put it on the list. But yeah, it's the anime because anime is the only like genre of entertainment. Well, certain animes. Because obviously you have Dragon Ball, which we already talked about, and then you have like, you know, titties and zombies. I still can't remember the name of that show.
We can't get too nerdy on this show. Like,
right. So, there's different genres of anime that are not this.
You're right.
But then within anime, you have high concept, over the top yet subdued, weird and fearless shows where they're like, no, this is a show about magic girls that become gods. That's what the show's about. This is a show about a boy that drives a giant robot, but he also has depression, and all the friends in his world represent different mental health illnesses. You know what I'm saying? Like, anime is the only thing that does stuff like that. So here we have a show that has humanist philosophy and religious symbolism and fucking Marxist undertones about economics and population control, but also there's ninjas, and there's a scene where a geisha dances to Cash Rules Everything Around Me and then cuts a nigga's head off. Like that's the only other medium that is that daring is anime. Only anime is like, I don't give a fuck what y'all think is supposed to happen. This is what I fuck with as the creator of this shit. And so that's what y'all gonna get. You like it or don't. And I fucking love it. It's It's
I was in
perfect.
shock, man. Like
Fucking perfect.
I hit Fiq up during the episode. Like they're doing everything. They're doing it all, man. They're doing all the things, bruh. Like I don't know if I can I don't know if I can handle all this right now, because not only did they have the damn nerve to sprinkle in anime, but then they gave me a little Matrix action as well. Gave me a little bit of Matrix in there too. Like, go ahead, I can be a superpower or a superhero and control minds. And
she see the Matrix.
And then in the next episode,
that Jesus, I wonder how. I don't think that Jesus allegory is accidental, bro. I think we're supposed to start evoking that about her at this point.
I'm saying, dog, like
makes me wonder: is Maeve gonna make it?
Maeve is chaotic good,
right?
I think she'll be fine because she's not afraid to get her hands dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see if she was just a pure, like, white hat, just pure good, and didn't want to drop her body. But Maeve is still looking out for herself. You know? Like, we
either her. So some things we didn't touch on because you weren't here. Her, William, or Bernard. One of those three doesn't make it to the end of this. At the end of the season.
Williams.
It's hard to
Williams
say.
Dead, dog. That's the only
I feel like William might be dead because he's doing such a redemption story.
And that is literally the only way one of the only ways they can make this next season go. You gotta kill off. Then because the nigga's not gonna stop hunting them. Like, no, or not, like, whatever his plan is, he's not gonna stop until his goal is met. So
I do wonder, like, because so much is coming to it. Like, it seems like everything's come to a head at the end of this 11-day period. Right. Even though we haven't seen William at the end. We've only seen Bernard following around Carl. That's who Carl was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we don't know where William is along with his daughter, and we don't know where Dolores or Maeve are. And so I do wonder if the next season is going to be a big departure and start bringing us into the real world more, because they have to. They kind of will have worn out, even though the fucking parks give them these great opportunities for set pieces.
I'm not convinced we go to the real world, dog, because
you can't do ninjas in the real world, nigga. It's ninjas.
No, but honestly, it's more about, then they won. We know who won. Like that. That's it. Like
I don't know. They can still be hunting them motherfuckers.
I mean, dog. You think if they not gonna kill everybody in the park before they get up out of there? Like that's the thing. Like Dolores, while ruthless, is not necessarily wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's smart as well. Like, she knows what she's doing. She said, strip everything off that train that's gonna cause some weight. Let's get up out of here. Like,
yeah, I didn't think about that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not stupid. I am not convinced that Bernard, Dolores, and Maeve don't team up in some fashion.
One of them has to defect. Probably Maeve. Because Bernard is looking mad evil right now.
And can we talk about the fact that they actually put that nigga into the Matrix next episode? Like, they actually just plug him into the damn Matrix.
I had to see it. They put the little helmet on top of his head.
You didn't see? Did you not watch that?
So at the very end, fucking my littlest one just started wilding out. Like, I missed the mouth decapitation moment for the most part because fucking I had to cover his eyes. I was like, you too. So you like, we can show you a couple of little violence. I'm not sure I want you to see the dude's mouth getting decapitated. You understand things look bad. So we're going to hold off on that one. And I love how blood was just spraying in the background for no reason. Like, we have this close-up shot of Maeve at the end, and while everybody's fighting, and there's just fucking fountains of blood behind her, just spraying like super soakers and shit.
And it was amazing. It was so good. We're gonna pause for a second.
Better yet, nigga. This is Inception. So we're going a world within a world
within a world
within a world.
Yes, sir. I told you that shit blew my fucking brain when I saw it. I was like, oh. So we don't know what timeline we're in, or even if we're in a timeline.
that could blow everything out of the water.
Because,
yeah, that's
and what this wild speculation. Keep in mind, this shit probably is not right. Well, I've been right a lot, but most of this shit ain't right. What if these hosts are just people that are plugged into it? You know what I'm saying?
If people are plugged into the Matrix, and the host world we've been seeing is actually a Matrix world. I can't with this right now. I can't do that. I can't I can't do Inception and Westworld at one time. I hope not, but that sounds relatively plausible.
Right.
That sounds like it could, because like if that's what's happening, and you're right, it does indicate that he's like going in somewhere.
Right. Like and then the next scene you see is him like touching the grass, trying to like, why is this real?
And then walking in, and it's like Teddy doesn't see him.
Exactly. Yeah, Teddy doesn't see him when he walks.
He keeps looking at Teddy.
It's like two shots back.
Who don't look quite right
to show you, like, guess what, guys? This is the fucking Matrix.
So, what is the scene with her and him together, though?
The Matrix.
You think that's the Matrix?
Because she specifically said.
I mean, hell, they can do like they can do whatever they want.
She said said specifically, that's not what he said. I'm thinking of the fact that Bernard is trying to act like Arnold, and somehow, like, he's giving the wrong response, and Dolores is finding out. Like, I don't think Arnold is the only one in there. So, yeah, man, it is, get your tinfoil hats on.
Yeah, that's all right. So we wrap things up.
Did we miss anything?
Any last?
I feel like we missed a ton of shit. Like, I really feel like
I think we covered everything. I think we got fucking ninjas.
Let's run.
We got Shogun decapitation. Go ahead. You want to run through it from top to bottom?
Yeah, through cast. So we got Dolores being full heel turn. Full heel turn. She's gone.
Fucking super villain.
Oh, she's gone, dog. She fucked that dude, and then
changed his soul. So Dolores is every angry nigga on Twitter antagonizing women.
She is the main. She's the main Rotep.
She's a Rotep. Oh, she's a Rotep. I wish we had titles for these shows.
So along with that, you also notice that Dolores is ordering around. The only person she had any compassion for was Clementine, and I believe that's because Clementine is gone. You know what I'm saying?
Clementine's like bottomized.
Yeah. So,
but clearly not, because she did that favor for Bernard or Arnold. I don't know who exactly was responsible for that.
Right, that is true, and she did recognize that was another version of herself.
Yeah.
So who knows? But that's the Dolores shit. Then we got Maeve. We talked about in depth.
We got all the dope Japanese doppelgangers.
Did we get any Bernard this episode? I don't feel like we got any Bernard this episode.
Not very much, no. I don't think anything. Actually, no, we got no Bernard this episode. We just got him at the beginning saying that 35% of... Well, no, he didn't say that. Another dude
he was
said
just looking around looking like he was about to kill everybody.
Right. Or that he's waiting for somebody to try to kill him, and then staring at Teddy, because he know Teddy gonna get up and pop off eventually.
He got that cortical fluid issue, and he was looking cortical fluid issue, and he was looking at that host's head. What do you think he's trying to? Well,
if he's still leaking cortical fluid, then he definitely needs it.
Exactly,
he's definitely gonna need it.
Yeah, but we didn't get much Bernard. Teddy, R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Teddy, or the original Teddy.
Hey, you know what though? I knew last episode when he let them motherfuckers go, it was over for him.
It was over.
It was a wrap.
Yeah, I knew something was gonna happen. He gonna be Ted now, like Ted Bundy.
We didn't get any Charlotte this episode.
Nope.
Armistice, I love her, dog. I love every scene she's in. She like steals the show for me.
Right, her and the Asian
version,
Japanese version of her had a moment where they were just kind of really into each other.
Then we got Sizemore.
Sizemore still trying to figure himself out.
Well,
he's interesting because, like, I feel like he's the most like nobody feels forced, but I don't think anybody is as realistically depicted for an absurd situation than he is.
Right. He's like, y'all, it's like if you got trapped in the park. Look, you
Right.
toasters. Come on, man.
Right.
I wrote
I'm with you, Maeve. Let's go.
But no, also, he stole that walkie-talkie.
Yep.
That's going to come back. We all know that.
Definitely.
Trying to skim down a little bit. Yeah, we didn't get much. We got Akane. We got Musashi, which was the.
So is it racist or not racist that they use the most known, like, I guess Teddy is, like, known. I don't know who Dolores is.
I mean,
but Musashi Miyamoto, I don't know where Sakura's name is fully from, but that's like a well-known name.
Like every anime character,
right?
As of right now, if they're gonna have a Sakura in their anime.
75% of all animes have a character named Sakura. If it was made, or at least if it was made between the early 80s and the late 90s, they had a character named Sakura. Now they've gotten away from it, but for a while.
But you also have to think about it. He made sure to mention that they were trying to evoke a time period, and you're gonna get a lot of Johns, a lot of Jims or Aarons.
I'm just saying, there's Japanese have a lot of they have unique name structures. I can't remember the full story behind it, but anyway. But yes, we got them. Yeah, I think we touched everything, bro. I think that's it. Also, I'm tired.
Hold on, R.I.P. Shogun.
R.I.P. Shogun.
Which that was a good plot twist.
He went out bad.
That was a good plot twist, though. That he was just crazy, and it was just leaking cortical fluid. So
and that was grimy how he did Sakura.
Oh, it was so bad.
Like I wasn't ready.
I
felt it coming, but I still wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready for the tree on her back first. I was like, "Ooh, okay."
Forgot about the tree.
And not only did he did that in what a day, maybe
night. Yeah.
Goodness. So yeah, and then I think that's pretty much it. I think we covered everybody else, but I just wanted to make sure.
It feels like it was more because it was so bombastic.
It was,
but it actually not a ton happened.
It was actually
because it
focused on two storylines.
Yeah, it was an omnibus episode. Like this is an episode where, like, I'm trying to think of it. This was like an episode of Black Mirror, even though I don't watch Black Mirror, where it don't have to relate to any episode before it or after it, but it was still great.
Yes, absolutely. I will agree with that.
You know,
yes.
You said, Kurosawa.
Yes, I mean,
but yeah. So to go ahead and wrap us up.
No. We got
great episode.
Sorry. Go ahead. We got the emails. We got emails.
Oh yeah. So to wrap us up, let's go ahead and read some emails real quick. Respond to those.
Also, we're gonna give our predictions as well.
Indeed. I'm gonna start with this first one from.
Nope. I will start with Will. I'll start with Will first. Shout out to the homie Will. When a long time,
day one, legit day one.
Like I ain't know you still listening. What up, man? What is up, fellas? This is your brown astronaut Will. Man, it is awesome. It is so awesome listening to the original crew again. All I need is my man Polo clowning on Fiq and Rock's book recommendations, and I am back to day one, episode 3. When I first listened to y'all, this episode was
This is for that's not for what's it called?
Sorry, Will.
We got you on Thursday.
Yeah, he sent me another one though. Yo, first I'm typing this on my phone, so my bad for the grammar. My nerd rage went off in this episode. I actually am not liking the Dolores arc. It is too slow for me. But the Shogun era is off the chain. By the way, they have money. Because I can tell you from being in Japan before that the actors they got for the show are legends in Japan. Yeah, I looked that up. By the way, it's some. When I send you the list of movies they've been in, you be like, oh shit. I love that they don't care if you get the episode or not. Something we always say.
Yeah, love that shit.
So if you care, you need to rewatch the show. I am starting season 1 again, and it's crazy how much I missed. But keep it moving, my fellow astronauts. Peace. Shout out to Will, man.
Peace.
Long time, man.
And indeed. Thank you very much, Will. Like legit, if you're a Patreon patron, which God willing you should be, you can come holler at us. No, so you can go back and look at freaking Will's one of our first ever feedbacks.
Yeah, I think he was. I'm pretty sure he was on the first feedback show like 6 years ago. So when I saw that name pop back up, I was like, hell yeah, what up, man? So we love y'all that stick around, man. We love y'all that come in fresh, but it's always a little soft spot for the motherfuckers been around since day one. Right,
indeed. Speaking of day ones, the brother Chris Lehman. What up, y'all? Things are getting very interesting now. I think Dolores is still fighting with her core programming, the Wyatt character, and her own choices. That's why seeing her father hit her so hard. We say it's not real, but who's to say it isn't? Abernathy is dealing with the narratives of Crazy Preacher and the Daddy Grancher while having that control unit in his head. Who knows how that's going to make them react? Will he be able to actually access that information and use it? We know his character has a dark side. Indeed. The reason Dolores wants him so badly is because they could finally create a developed mind in a host and create a Bernard like Ford did with Arnold. What I do like about the Bernard story is that he's going through the same things Dolores was in season 1. That's real. I noticed that. Yeah. With the visions and getting lost in moments, he's going through his own discovery. William, aka the Man in Black, has decided he's going out with the bang. The last conversation with him and Daddy Delos hosts, which I think happened right before his final fight with Dolores, I agree. When she broke his arm and he was wearing a sling, says that some people just gotta die. And his time for fighting some kind of fighting for some type of immortal life with Ford's host is done. I think seeing that young Confederado being different kind of evil actually bothered him. So the MIB showed him who the reigning villain of the park really is. I know some of y'all think he'll be the good guy, but even he scoffed at the notions of being it being a good deed. I think he's ready to die in the park, and his daughter is here to see it for herself. I wonder if the daughter takes after her grandfather, Daddy Delos. Clearly, she's been in the parks, probably with the father all her life. Stubbs talked to her like she was a regular guest. I do see the MIB going back to Sweetwater soon. Wonder if he gets back on the train too. Who the hell is the MIB? Oh, the Man in Black. Duh.
Yeah, Man in Black.
I don't know why. All right.
You tired.
My bad. I'm tired. I don't think Maeve lost her powers. I think a combination of the Ghost Nation being special and the one she was interacting with was the same one that kills her and her child in the narrative. It kind of had her shook. She's so confident with her core programming plus her upgrades. I can't wait to see how she responds and what Samurai World will look and feel like. Also,
well, you got what you wanted.
Right.
And you was wrong, nigga. No,
right. The Ghost Nation elder who they refer to as the First of Us is the same guy that the MIB scalped in season 1 and who was the initial showcase with Logan this season.
Yep. I put that in the chat. I was like, y'all, yeah, I remember I was like, y'all missed that. How did y'all miss that? Yeah, it was the same dude from the beginning of this season.
Interesting. Bernard said Ford told Clementine to bring him into the cave. How much control does Ford still have in the outcome of this game? The notion of suffering being the road of awareness consciousness comes up so much in this show. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. Chris, one half the Brothers Lehman Black Ears Network. Indeed. Yeah, man. Yeah, he had a lot of insight there, adding to today's meats of the show. And yeah, man, I don't. So on the predictions, I don't know, bro. I can't really call it. I guess the only prediction I feel confident in is that Teddy is not dead and that him being in that pile of bodies is important for the overall setup of what's going to eventually happen.
Yeah, that was a lot of bodies, dog.
Right.
Like, that was enough to take them all out.
You know what I just got a vision of? Oh, shit. What was the dudes that made Limbo, the game?
Oh, Play Dead.
What was that other game they made?
Oh, shit. I know it because it fucked me up after I played it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it no more.
The pigs,
but yeah, what about your predictions?
Pulling the pigtail. God, that was so bad. For me, I really am curious to see where this Bernard storyline goes. I'm still not convinced that he's evil, even though they made it seem in this preview that he was going to be stalking around and kind of looking like he was up to something. I don't necessarily think he's up to something. I'm more along the lines with you, Fiq, that he's just trying to get in where he fit in so he can take care of himself. I also want to see what's going on with Tessa. They mentioned that they got the map back, and it seemed like that was important. Right. So I'm curious to see what they do with that.
They're trying to get to Abernathy.
Right. And then we see that they have Abernathy in the next episode. So, yeah, man, I'm just really curious because I don't think we're going to get a lot of samurai next week. I feel like they blew the budget right now, and they need to back off.
That was our one trip to Shogun World. We might see in one more episode next season.
Right. Like, they might have to back off a little bit. And, you know, like, those aren't normal for Westworld. Westworld is about introspection and, you know, deep thinking a lot of times. Or I don't want to be one of those dudes to say deep thinking because I don't want to be those assholes. But, like, people that it makes you want to go watch it again and see what you missed.
Right.
And they haven't really done that for the last 2 episodes.
They didn't need to because it's been a fucking party.
Exactly. So when are we getting back?
It's like an Andrew WK song.
And that's what I'm nervous about. I think they're about to fuck with us the next 2 to 3 episodes.
Yeah, there's a hook coming. You're right.
So
but with that in mind, this was your host Fiq Blurman. You can find me. Well, sorry. First off, thank y'all for listening to us and all that good stuff. Check us out at the Black Astronauts Podcast. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh. Check us out on Twitter at Black Astronauts Podcast, on the website blackastronautspodcast.com. You can call and email the show.
502-498-8814 if you just want to leave us a voicemail.
Say that one more time because I think I cut you off.
It's 502-498-8814 if you want to leave a voicemail. Voicemails will cut you off after 2 minutes. Just throwing that out there.
Yes. Don't come up doing your life story. I'm at Fiq Blurman, FRQ_BLERDMAN on Twitter, the website.
Ashy3Classy, and also Black Astronaut 1 on Twitter.
Indeed. Appreciate y'all. See y'all next week. Peace.